I'll just get things going. Okay. You seem to be offline. Can you call in? Have you got the number? You know the number? Okay. Okay. Well, it's in there. Okay, it's on there. John, if you could start. Terry's just getting ready. If you can start, please, that would be fantastic. I don't think I can hear you, though. Can everybody hear me okay and see John's screen? Can I have a response, please? Let me know. Looks as if it's coming through. Not very well, though. Can everyone hear me okay? How is the sound here? How is the sound here? How is the sound? You can't hear me? Far out.
That's probably October this year, if the calculations are correct.
That's not far away.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there'll be a shock to the whole system and that drops to $31.
Yeah. Why would it be a shock? Why would it be a shock? This has been trending down for years.
I'm talking about to the average punter that doesn't listen to you.
Okay.
And there are plenty of them out there that they've bamboozled with it, and $31 for where it is in the $50 area now. It's quite a big drop in that.
Yeah, but it was trading 6 years ago down to, in 2008, down at $23.60 at its lowest level. So.
From what you're talking, things have been shut. I remember back in the 2009 area,
Yeah.
when you everyone was pessimistic at how bad things were, and you came out of the blue and said it's time to buy.
Yeah.
I was not another member at the time, not to afford it. It's a big call. It's easy to say these things. Very hard to put your money down on the line and say let's go for it. But you did tell me, wasn't you made that call?
That was at the end of February 2009. The market bottomed 2 weeks later, 10 days later. Oh, absolutely. At that time, I was buying Citibank at $1, and Citibank was, where was that? We can show this here. Citibank. This was a low at $1. They recapitalized Citibank, and it's now up at $57.
Really? Now, it's time for us to put a small station like furniture in play here.
Terry, just 1 second. There is something that I do want to cover here, and this is important. The pattern that Rio is doing is something that I actually teach in the Train the Chartist with seminars, and I'm doing one in Brisbane on the weekend. So if you are into that, it's on the website, the ADEST website, which I'm pulling up now, and you can do that. That's ADEST. If that can get going, maybe this will come. I actually need a quick drink. It's as slow as slow as anything right now. But let's see if it can come up here. So there's the train the Chartist on the 22nd, and it's at the Novotel. So. Either the phone the 1300 552 182 after the after 11:30 in the morning tomorrow, or simply go along and you want to click on here and go to the Train the Chartist if you're in Brisbane. There's also a bonus for people who are here, and you can order that now, and basically you'll get the patterns that I'm looking for with Rio and other stocks. I'll be analysing those particularly deeply. So that's there. And also as a bonus for the people who are here tonight, they'll get a $100 or $97 value book that I considered one of the most important ones for me, included in that price. Lunch, morning and afternoon too.
Now, just slowly, it's 1300.
1300 552 182. 552 552 182. Oh, absolutely. I get people who are on Your Money or Call calling me up and going, David, you said it would go to this level, and what do I do now? I go, well, it got there, and you should have taken some profit. And they go, well, what do I do now? I go, well, you should bloody be a member. You know, it's only a couple of $100 a month to be a member in some ways. And, you know, why not be a member? And because you're risking that much every time you put a trade on, if not more. People risk. I had one gentleman say to me, "Oh, David, I wish I had joined you. I've lost $200,000. Your membership for the year only costs $3,000." So.
Yeah, well, this is what the people listening think, oh, this is at least going on here, it's just sell, trying to get us to buy. But we're not doing that. It's the truth. If you're playing with a lot of money, I don't like the word playing, if you're trading with a lot of money, then to be on top of it every day is a very important thing. And so let's leave that back. We don't want to be caught overselling or underselling. Trying to help you see it.
Part of my problem is I'm a lousy salesman. Terry, in terms of Adrian's short position in BHP, at this point it really needs to be a stop loss at $27, and you're turning into a good long move. The volume is really supportive of a down move. This is pretty good stuff here.
You don't think you think it's likely to go a bit higher, catch it on a higher price for short?
Oh yeah, there's always little jiggles. At the moment, today's low was probably in a good spot for a bit of a bounce. So if you see it above $25, you might get a rally up to around about $26.71.
Right, well that's, we wait for a bounce to shorten on a bounce. That would be the general consensus.
Correct.
Well, thank you very much for that. That's good. Good information for all of you people who are listening.
Yeah, we did a PHG trade short on Westpac today, up on the high area, and this is just one of the examples of the short we put on because we know that it's retraced nicely, and so we shorted it today at $32.60. It actually was a little bit higher up than that when I issued it, but $32.60 would have been done, and it's backed off today a little bit. I like to do them on a bit of a rally and a breakdown too. There's a few different strategies which we employ.
Now the third one, while we're on the mining, was pretty sure on the mining. What I want to talk here, the FMG. I remember when that was $5 and $6 not very long ago. Where did it finish today?
So FMG, I had a target at $2, and it's just been trying to get. When it went down to $1.61, I gave a target at $2, and for the PHG, and it's got to $1, closed at $1.94 today. It's been to $2.02, and it's just been backing off from there at the moment. It hasn't really destroyed itself, but it starts to get worried below $1.86, and it becomes wonderful above $2.03. Looking for around $2.50.
You said a reasonable pullback to a much lower level like your BHP and Rio.
It's difficult because historically FMG has run away. It's been down as low as the $1.16 area in 2008, late 2008, and it's run away from there. So it is probably the one which has been forced to be the leanest and meanest because of its history and lack of capitalization, lack of financial resources. So it's showing some okay signs, and if it can get much above $2.05, you might be looking at the barrel down the barrel of $3 or $2.80, that sort of area. So if it's going to have a collapse and a guts out, it will be short-lived down there because it's actually good value down there. I had a horrible tale of one of our Profit Owner Group members, Dawn Bolton Smith, who is in Your Trading Edge magazine. She had one lady who was asking about FMG, and she did not listen to me back up at the $6 mark, and Dawn had her talk to me, and she wouldn't get out of that position. And at that time, she was underwater already from being higher up in the $8 area, and she basically held it all that time. And I said, well, you know, really, my estimate was down around about that time was around about the $2 area was the first target I thought it could get to from $6. Unfortunately, that lady is still holding it, and she wouldn't become a member. She wouldn't listen to my advice, and she's now lost about $500,000 on that position, just still holding it.
That's very sad.
That's really sad. And it's like, but you know, I used to really, my heart used to bleed for people like that, and I feel really sorry. Now I'm getting, as I get older in the last couple of years, I just thought, really, I'm trying to help everybody, and I can't do that. Really, you know, I just can't help everybody. Some people just want to lose money and get themselves buried. Unfortunately, if you're in that category, I can't help you. Don't bother becoming a Profit Hunter Group member, because your money is just going to be wasted anyway if you're not going to listen or learn the techniques, because there's a lot of people who become good traders and good technical analysts by watching what I do every day in the Profit Hunter Group speed webinars. So they see the techniques that I'm employing and what to do.
Now, just going back to FMG, you're saying it could go to $3, is that right?
As long as it clicks above that $2 mark again. $2.05.
Well, see, but it's interesting the point you make that it's getting some way of being, that's why it's,
Yeah.
where it is.
Alan's pointing out it's $9 billion in debt, but you know, there's not much more downside in the iron ore price, and in fact, you know, it might get down to $20, it might get down to $35, but at the moment it's been down to $42. So you know, a lot of it's been squeezed out. You know, a lot of that price movement's been squeezed out.
But on the other hand, if you think that BHP and Rio would still come back a fair amount, that's a fair amount we're talking about percentage-wise, and FMG staying up there, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what about the other, piece on the iron ores at the moment? Atlas Iron, now, I remember when that was over $1, not so long ago.
Yeah. Another sad case. A couple of weeks ago, or maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, I get a call from a gentleman saying, "David, I've seen you on Your Money Call. I like what you say. You've been bearish on the iron ore ones. So what do you think now? Should I take up the rights issue and the share issue for Atlas?" And I looked at it and I looked at because I normally will look at the chart. So I looked at the charts first, then I look at the fundamentals and what the particular offer. I said, no way, you can't do this, because they were paying the contractors in shares. The contractors need money, so what are the contractors going to do? They're simply going to start selling down. And for my money, that was just the stupidest move on history. You know, you don't want that to happen. What you want to do is you want people wanting not to sell the shares that you give it to them. There was a massive dilution in capital, and this guy was asking me if he should buy more as a quick trade in this. I just said no way, you know.
David, that's my opinion. Scenario for a long period of time. There is a quote. Some people think they're alone, some are here with their ears in, some see not at all.
Yep. Yeah. I just feel very sad. You know, he was owning AGO for I think around about $3 mark. It's like, you know, trade with the stop loss. If you're a fundamental trader, here's my problem: is that fundamental traders put shit on technical analysts all the time during Your Money Call. You've probably seen them. You know, you'll sit next to them, and I'll completely say that we're witch doctors and we're full of shit. And I like fundamental analysis. I'm an economist by trade. I like it. There's no question. But only use it in a bull market. In a bull market, fantastic. Be a fundamentalist. Half the problem is we're now getting people who are not fundamentalists pretending to be fundamentalists. They were technical analysts, and it's really sickening to see them change their coat, because people will send them money. Dumb people will send them money because they say, you're listening to me. You hear what I say. Most of it is absolute bullshit, because when my cycles click in, that's when the fundamentals start to work. When I say this market is bottoming in 2009, the fundamentals started to kick into place because my cycle work was in alignment and all was ready to go up. The fundamentals click into place when the cycles work. So it's not the fundamentals coming out, it's the cycles getting the fundamentals right. No, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them. Let's get moving with the next one we've got is MPL. Next question is MPL. Now, MPL is interesting because it's supposedly paying nice dividends soon. And it's failed to get much below the $2 area, which was where it was issued at. We had a fantastic run on MPL, and up around these higher levels, people asking me what do I think, and I said, well, you know, it's okay up here, but if it cracks $2.28, it's in some deep doo-doo and probably goes down towards $2. So the fascinating thing about MPL is it's now paying a really good dividend, and not only that, it's actually it's now had a few tests to the bottom, and it's not really breaking down. It's actually showing signs of strength, while the rest of the market is falling apart. So something to look at. You're probably best worrying about it if it being interested in above $2.10, looking for $2.21, and you get a reasonable pickup in the dividend. So I'm fairly happy with MPL, Medibank Private. Stop below $1.90. Currently trading $2. The stop is below $2. Yes, correct. It's $2.01 now. The stop is below $1.90. We've already discussed CBA, David. Would I be in it? No, there's just another person asking a question on CBA. We've already discussed that. Now, on this one, if we are looking for, we've already discussed BHP also, Jim. So we're in the tail end, so please no more questions. So what we've seen, we've got a lot of questions backed up. For those people that just come in. I think it's worthwhile hanging in for the dividends. It's probably one of the safer ones in this current environment. It's not exciting. It's not anything you shoot the lights out for. It's only about a 10% return should it come, plus holding the dividend. Telstra has problems, and does anyone remember my buy, hold, sell, where I said $6.66? I've been talking about a target of $6.66 for Telstra. It went a little bit further than that. It went to $6.74. I don't think that's too bad, 8 cents in the overall range between $2.55 and $6.74. So it was a little bit out. At the moment, it's not behaving very well, but it's not behaving badly. Badly is below $5.90. We should see $5.48 or $5.14. The problem with Telstra is a couple of things. $6.12. is where it's explaining. One of the problems with Telstra is it's had a boss change. David Thodey was very good for Telstra. The other gentleman, I'm not so sure. So what we've seen is Telstra has been bought for the dividends. Once we get higher interest rates, it's looking expensive up here, but it's not ready to slash its wrists yet. And I believe it pays its dividends sometime this month. I think it's the end of the month. I'm always a bit curious on the dividend payment, but certainly a crack below $5.90 is not a pretty sight. And CBA had that very same characteristics as Telstra. Telstra a little bit slower, and dividends are paid on the 25th of August. So there'll be some breakdowns on that basis. Telstra, it is a possible short. Your stop would need to be above $6.37 though, which is a fair way away. But you'd have to manage it correctly. I prefer not to talk about shorts for people who are on the. I have taken some short questions, but pretty well I prefer in not to do shorts for people on Your Money, Your Charts, because they tend to be investors. The traders and experienced financial planners and active stockbrokers and fund managers, they tend to be the Profit Hunter Group members, and we can work with the shorts and get out quickly should they get to the target levels or if things change. So. Yeah. So. Okay, well, there's three different memberships, and you can see them on the website profithunters.com.au, which is on the top there. The different memberships, bronze membership, which is the ability to sit down and watch my forecasts either live and ask me questions live about the big picture and the long-term prospects of their particular shares. That happens webinars every Monday or Tuesday night every week. And individually, I charge $147 for each one of those webinars if you want to do that on a casual basis. Bronze membership itself it costs, basically you get the forecasts for each year, you get all of the videos, you get to watch all the webinars in recorded, you get to watch the recordings, get to attend live. And it is really, it's normally, if you pay for it individually, you'd be paying somewhere around about something like, I think it's about $3,900 if you pay for each webinar. But for bronze, it's $2,497, and you get basically you get just on 48 webinars per year times $150, whatever that number ends up. And so that tends to be for investors and self-managed super funds. Double 521680, which should actually be up. It should actually be up the top in the website, shouldn't it? Really? That would be easy. Okay, Kateri. Here we go. We're on ALQ, one of my favorites. ALS, which used to be Campbell Brothers. That was We have traded the shit out of that stock. That's just been one of the best stocks ever. It was one of the best trending ones. Yeah, sorry about swearing. This. They're mining services and they've been very, very good. So they've been taking a strong hit. It's been working purely technical, and this is an awesome stock. So in theory, you might see it down towards $1.69. If you see it there, generational buying opportunity, buy it, and you'll give it to your grandkids. No, it was for $14 on this pricing. It did have some capital adjustments. There was 5-for-1 shares, which would have brought the price down. No, you're not incorrect at all. There was 5 shares for one, so it was a consolidation, and its top price level would have been around at $14. So it would have been close to $60 on the top side back in 2012. No, you're not getting wrong. $1.69, that's a generational buying opportunity. $4.78. Yeah, the reality is you could probably expect it down to about $4.78. Um, sorry, $3.78 on the downside. That would be a nice area. But if we can continue this wholesale destruction of mining and the way things go, we might be able to pick it up down there. But it'd be nice sub $4 just as a test. Yeah. So, there is one that's called the BLK, which would be like the Black Plague, which happens to be a gold stock. Radio BLK for large. Is that out of Alabama? No. Okay, so okay, fantastic. So here we've got BLK. Now this is Blackham Resources. Now this stock has really. Let's do some. Anyone wants like clouds? Now Blackham is living a little bit negative, and it's been negative for basically the last, let's say, not that long, but quite a while. It's been quite a while on the downside. No. I would like it above 25 cents. That would be fine. The first sign of goodness is above 17 cents. At the moment, if you are long established stock below 10 cents, there's not. It's interesting the amount of. There's a little bit of momentum to the top side, but really above 25 cents is the good thing for this. Yeah. Well, this one is okay, I believe, at the moment, particularly again above that 16, 17 cents up to 20 cents. The good thing about these ones is that they can go really far. The bad thing is yesterday's volume was 52,500 shares on a 15-cent stock. So it's suboptimal really in terms of liquidity. But if you've got something on it, we've had a bit of a special going on gold stocks. So this one has popped, but it hasn't really. It needs another pop to confirm that it's any good. There are some gold stocks which are going up, and there are some gold stocks which are going down, and there are some gold stocks which are just going sideways. At that stage, the first target I gave when it was up here, I've actually got a radio recording of me on US financial radio, right at the time of this top here in February, when it was up at $1,792. I actually told them to short it at 1788. And then you'll remember we were in Melbourne for the Traders Expo, and I was telling people there, to those who would listen, that to sell it again up at that when it was at $1,798 again. At that time, I was looking for $1,300 on the downside, with the possibility of 1,024 and possibly $890. So yeah, that's the one. Now we have been long gold on a PHG trade since. Actually, I'll put that up here. It might be useful for us to have a look on that one. And I'll just show you this one when we've had this in there. What we do is we do commodities. And so profit hunter group trades. These are all the stocks that I've answered over the past couple of days. CSL, not long actually. Short on Westpac, CSL. This is past day. 7 hours ago. Brambles, 10 hours ago. Westpac. These are commodities trades that we see here. 12 hours ago. And this is the recording that we get. Now, we probably won't play through on this one, but here is gold. We've been long gold on a PHG basis since the 30th of July. And we bought dips to 1082, so 1082. We had our first target at 1128, and you can't see this because unfortunately the screen's smudged it up on the charts. But we've actually taken profit on 1/3 at $1,116, and then another 1/4 at $1,133, which was our first profit target. Our stock is now at 1,103, and we added to our position on a break above 1,102 on gold. So that was so here. That's sarcasm, lowest form of wit. So so we've been long here, and it's now reaching the target. We are carrying some position at the moment, and our stock is going to slot in soon. But this was on this day, in keeping with our cycle work and the forecast that I've been given for probably about a month and a half. I've been forecasting that particular time period. So it all works into place. You lock into place. I look at the cycles. I look at the timing. I look at the patterns, and then I look at the trend of the market and price targets when we get in. Okay, this is MYX, and it's from Adonis, and I've chosen Adonis's question because he didn't get to ask it last time, or didn't get answered last time. It's just there's a few people, more than a few people upset. So we had to change. We had to go with questions we noticed. Yeah. And Okay, so what we're seeing here on the larger time frame in our friend MYX, which is main pharmacy, is basically a retest. No, main pharmacy. Main Nicholas was the transporter, but they went into main, some pharmaceuticals. I think they sold. Did they go to TNT and then they morphed into something? Anyway, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got some divergence going on both on a long-term basis and a short-term basis. It's retesting the old highs, and we're seeing it approaching those, but we're not getting anything really in terms of the momentum we want to see. So on the weekly charts, we're seeing it roll over a little bit, and it's got a bit of risk on the downside now because the volume is starting to pick up on the downside. So on the daily charts, we see it sliding a little bit, and it shouldn't be getting below those old tops, which it is. So we're starting to see negative developments in this particular, and the momentum in MACD is starting to roll over on the downside. So with this one, we see probably down into this nest of support around the 78 cents to 83 cents, and maybe first off down $1.05. That's the real test. If it can't hold above $1.05, or at least above $1.02, you might want to buy it up $1.05. But with a stop below $1.02, then it's got some unfortunate circumstances. On this one, I'd be in at above $1.17. I'd be okay with that up to about $1.22 or $1.27 as a short-term trade. Jadom, I have to go. I'm in the middle of the webinar. Sorry, I'm here. My wife just called. She's no idea what I'm doing. Well, I brushed her off for you, Terry. It's you, baby. Yeah. 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 Good night, everybody. For the people here who are experienced traders and experienced investors who have been watching me for a while and been on the fence as to whether they should join me. Normally, Profit 100 membership is by application only, and that still remains the same. I like to interview people. We have an interview to see whether we're a good fit, and there are some people who would be a good fit, and there are some people who would not be a good fit. And often it's a matter of time between when they would be a good fit to work with me or not. So I like to interview them, and I found that to be the best way. And the reason for that is because if somebody is not experienced in the way that I do things, what I found is that they can get disturbing to me, and I'm very important to my members because I've got stockbrokers and I've got professional traders who are taking my advice and buying and selling right there and then and there in the webinar. For example, we were buying ANZ last week, or at the end of the week before, at $29.80, and I basically said, okay, it's down here where it had that massive issue, and that it could rally back up to $30.70 to $30.80. So we bought it first thing just after it opened with a tight stop loss of some 30 cents, and it went up to the target. We took profit, and so those are the things that we're doing live in the webinars. And what that means is I have to be in full form. So if somebody is not in alignment with what we're doing or doesn't quite understand it and hasn't seen me for long enough, maybe they've been a bronze member, maybe they've been a silver member to get to that level, then I don't accept them as a member, as a gold member. So because gold members have immediate access to me all the time. Silver members can get all the same information as gold members, and they get the answers to the questions that gold members ask, plus they get recording and transcripts of the live webinars, and so that the gold members attend. So if you're thinking of that, you've been on the side, I'm happy to give you a $2,000 discount off the normal price of full silver membership if you are going to contact me tomorrow, but before 5 p.m. tomorrow, and there will be only 3 places available for that. And we'll do an interview. The interview will probably be next Monday, but you need to contact me. I might have time to do it then, but you'll need to set aside about half an hour for that, and then we can talk and I can see and hear whether you will be a suitable candidate for gold membership. If you are interested in silver membership, you can email me, david@adesk.com.au. I'm happy to give $1,000 discount on the membership tonight if you email me tonight and tomorrow up to 5 p.m. and we'll arrange that there for you as silver membership. It will cover ASX shares only if you wish, or it will cover futures, forex, commodities in general, but with things like bonds, gold, etc., and world indices if you want the full membership. So you can have it concentrating on ASX shares, Australian shares, or you can have the whole world with that. And thank you very much, Terry, and thanks very much, JR, for starting off. Thanks very much, Rob and Tony, and I hope you've all had a good one. Stephen, good to chat. John, appreciate it. And Kim, those people in Brisbane, if you give me a call tomorrow, I might have a special price for you if you want to attend in the Brisbane seminar tomorrow. People who have attended it have actually got a special price. If you've attended the seminar Train the Chartist in the Gold Coast, there is a special repeat price, and people get morphine. Good to see you. And Terry, no problem. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good evening, and appreciate Terry's effort here for being there. He's just moved houses, and he's built a big new office, and he's just been dusting it off today, and that's one of the reasons why the technicals weren't getting so good, all the equipment and all that sort of thing. Thanks, Louise. Good to see you in. How's Townsville? Peter, you did make it in, did you? Was that no? That's a different Peter. The names weren't there. Thanks everybody. Have a good time, and appreciate you coming along. And talk soon. Thanks, Siggy. Good night. Enjoy. Good to see you, Joy. Have a good one. Thanks, sir. I'm turning it off now. Thanks. Bye.